Hey there, everyone! It is such a beautiful day to learn something new, isn't it? A very warm welcome to you all. You are tuning in to Learning English Studio, the place where we hang out, chat, and just get better at English together without any stress. I'm Amelia, and I'm feeling super good today. How about you guys? Ready to dive in?
Hello, it's James here. And wow, Amelia, you are bringing such good energy today. I can feel it through the microphone.
Well, I have my coffee, I have my notes, and I have you here, James. That is the perfect recipe for a great episode.
Flattery will get you everywhere, Amelia. But seriously, I'm really looking forward to this. We've got a lot of eager students listening in right now. I can feel it.
Absolutely. And we have a topic today that is, well, it's a bit of a beast, but in a good way. We're going to be talking about something that almost every student I know worries about. It's like the big mountain everyone has to climb at some point.
Ooh, mysterious. Let me guess. Are we talking about grammar tenses? No, that's too easy. Are we talking about pronunciation?
Close, but even bigger than that. Today we are focusing on the IELTS exam, specifically the common mistakes people make, and more importantly, how to fix them.
Ah, yes, IELTS, the big one. Just saying the word makes some students sweat a little bit, right?
Exactly. But you know what? It doesn't have to be scary. That's the whole point of today. We want to take the fear out of it and just look at it practically. Like, what are the traps? Where do people lose points? And how can we just sidestep those traps?
I love that approach. It's like we are going on a treasure hunt, but instead of gold, we are looking for mistakes to avoid. That's actually a very smart way to think about it.
Exactly. And before we get into the nitty-gritty details, I just want to give a quick shout out to our amazing community. If you're listening to this, please remember to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. It really helps us keep making these free episodes for you. And if you know someone who is struggling with IELTS, share this with them. Be a study buddy.
Yes, sharing is caring. And hey, if you're listening while walking to school or on the bus, stay safe, okay? But keep those ears open.
Definitely. Okay, James, let's jump right in. When we talk about IELTS, there are 4 parts, right? Listening, reading, writing, and speaking. That's a lot of ground to cover. But I feel like there are some mistakes that are universal, like they happen in multiple sections.
Oh, absolutely. Actually, one of the biggest mistakes happens before the exam even starts. It's a mindset thing.
A mindset thing? That sounds interesting. Tell me more.
Well, a lot of students treat IELTS like a standard school test. They think, oh, I just need to know the answers. I just need to study the textbook. But IELTS isn't really about knowledge. It's about skills. It's about how you use the language, not just what you know.
That is a huge distinction. So memorizing vocabulary lists isn't enough?
Not really. I mean, vocabulary is great, don't get me wrong. But if you memorize 1,000 fancy words, but you can't use them in a sentence naturally, it doesn't help you. The examiners are trained to spot that. They want to see communication.
Right. Communication is key. I think that leads us perfectly into the speaking section, because that's where you really see the difference between a robot and a human speaker.
Yes, the speaking test. Let's talk about that. I've heard so many students say, James, I need to speak fast to show I'm fluent.
Oh yes, the speed myth. If I talk like a machine gun, I'm fluent. That's such a common mistake.
It is, and it's actually counterproductive. When you speak too fast, you make mistakes, you lose your breath, and your pronunciation gets muddy. Fluency isn't about speed, it's about flow.
Flow, I like that word. It's like a river. If it rushes too fast, it crashes. If it's slow, it's stagnant. But flow, it just moves smoothly.
Beautiful analogy, Amelia. Exactly. So mistake number 1 in speaking, rushing. The fix, just slow down. Take a breath. It's okay to pause. In fact, pausing makes you sound more natural.
I've noticed that in real life too. When someone is confident, they don't rush. They take their time because they know you are listening.
Yes, and that brings us to another huge mistake, the memorized answer.
Oh no, the dreaded script.
Haha, yes. Students prepare a perfect speech about their hometown or their hobby, and the moment the examiner asks a slightly different question, they panic. Or worse, they just say the speech anyway, and the examiner thinks, okay, they aren't listening to me.
That's so awkward, isn't it? Imagine asking someone, how was your weekend? And they start talking about the history of the Roman Empire because they memorized it.
Exactly. That is an extreme example, but examiners hear similar things. They ask, do you like traveling? And the student says, Traveling is a very important activity in the modern world because it broadens the mind, and it sounds like a textbook.
So robotic. So what's the fix for that? How do you prepare without sounding fake?
The fix is to prepare ideas, not scripts. Know your stories. If they ask about travel, think of a real time you traveled. How did you feel? What did you see? Tell the story. That's natural. And if you don't understand a question, just ask them to repeat it. That's allowed.
Oh, that's a great tip. People are so scared to ask for clarification. They think it lowers their score, but actually it shows you can manage a conversation, right?
Exactly. It's a communication test. If you're on a date and you didn't hear what your date said, you wouldn't just start talking about cheese. You'd say, "Sorry, I missed that." So do the same in the exam.
Just start talking about cheese. That is my new model for life. Okay, so for speaking, slow down, don't memorize scripts, and ask if you don't understand. That sounds like a solid foundation.
It really is. But let's move on to writing, because, wow, there is a lot to unpack there.
Writing task 2 especially, the essay. Everyone stresses about the essay.
Yes, and the biggest mistake I see in task 2 is the off-topic essay. Or maybe not fully off-topic, but not fully on-topic either. It's like touching the target but missing the bullseye.
Can you give an example? Like, what does that look like?
Sure. Let's say the question is, some people think that strict punishments for driving offenses are the key to reducing traffic accidents. To what extent do you agree or disagree?
Okay, clear question. Punishments versus accidents.
Right. But a common mistake is the student writes a general essay about why traffic accidents are bad. They talk about cars, they talk about speed, they talk about injuries, but they forget the most important word, punishments.
Ah, I see. They are answering the context, but not the specific question.
Precisely. They might write a beautiful essay with perfect grammar, but if they didn't discuss whether strict punishments work, they lose a lot of points for task response. It's tragic.
That is heartbreaking. You work so hard on your grammar and vocabulary and then, gone, just because you missed the point.
Exactly. So the advice here is underline the keywords. Spend 2 minutes planning. Make sure every paragraph relates back to those keywords. Ask yourself, does this sentence answer the question?
Underlining keywords. Such a simple step, but so easy to skip when you are nervous and watching the clock.
Right. And speaking of the clock, time management is another massive issue. In task 1, the letter or the graph description, people write too much. They treat it like a major essay.
Oh, I've done that. You get into the zone and just keep writing and writing.
Yeah, but task 1 is only worth 1/3 of your writing score. Task 2 is worth 2/3. If you spend 40 minutes on task 1 and only 20 on task 2, you are shooting yourself in the foot.
Ouch. Shooting yourself in the foot. That sounds painful.
It is painful for your score. So stick to the time limit. 20 minutes for task 1, 40 minutes for task 2. Be strict with yourself.
Okay, let's switch gears to reading, because I find reading fascinating. It's like a puzzle.
It is a puzzle. And the biggest trap in reading, it's the false versus not given dilemma. This drives students crazy.
Oh, tell me about it. Even native speakers get confused by this sometimes. The text doesn't say it, so is it false or is it not given?
It's tricky. Let's break it down simply. False means the text actively contradicts the statement. It says the opposite.
Okay, so if the text says the sky is blue and the statement says the sky is green, that is false.
Perfect example. Black and white contradiction. Now, not given means we just don't know. The information is missing.
So if the text says the sky is blue and the statement says the sky is blue on Tuesdays and the text doesn't mention days of the week.
Yes, that is not given. Maybe it is blue on Tuesdays. Maybe it's not. The text doesn't say. So you can't call it false. You have to call it not given.
I see. The mistake students make is using their own logic. They think, well, logically, the sky is blue every day, so the statement must be true.
Bingo. That is the trap. You must only use the information in the text. You are not a scientist. You are a reader. Your job is not to know the truth. Your job is to find the information. If it's not there, it's not given. Period.
That is such a hard habit to break. We are so used to using our common sense. But in IELTS, you have to leave your common sense at the door.
Exactly. Check your brain at the entrance. Just read what is written. Another reading mistake? Spending too long on one difficult question.
Ah, the perfectionist trap. I must solve this riddle or I will die.
Yes, it's an exam. You have 60 minutes. If a question is hard, guess and move on. Every question is worth 1 point. Don't lose 5 points trying to get 1 point.
That is actually really good life advice, too. Don't lose 5 opportunities chasing one impossible thing.
Very true. Let's not forget the listening section either. That's the first one, so it sets the tone for the whole day.
Listening is intense because you only hear it once, no rewinding.
Right. And the biggest mistake here is, well, there are 2. One is getting stuck on a previous answer.
Oh, that's the worst. You miss the answer for question 5 and you're thinking about it while they are giving the answer for question 6.
It's a domino effect. You miss one, you panic. You miss the next one. You have to let it go. If you miss it, make a guess and immediately focus on the next one.
Easier said than done, though. The panic is real.
It is, but you can practice this. When you do practice tests, force yourself to move on. Train your brain to reset. The second mistake in listening is not reading ahead.
Ah, yes, the gap between the sections. You have time to look at the questions.
You do, and you must use that time wisely. Underline keywords in the questions so you know what you are listening for. Is it a date, a name, a price? If you know what to listen for, you are much more likely to catch it.
It's like being a detective. You have a profile of the suspect you are looking for.
That's a great way to put it. If you know you are looking for a phone number, your brain switches on to hear numbers. If you are just listening blindly, it's just noise.
So, preparation is key. Use that pause time.
Absolutely. So, Amelia, we've covered a lot. We talked about speaking being about communication, not speed, writing about answering the specific question, reading about sticking to the text, and listening about moving on and reading ahead.
That is a gold mine of tips. Honestly, just knowing these common mistakes puts you ahead of like 50% of the students, don't you think?
I think so. Most people just dive in without knowing the rules of the game. Knowing the pitfalls is half the battle.
You know, James, I'm thinking about a student I met once. Let's call him Alex. Alex was brilliant. His grammar was perfect, but he failed the speaking test twice.
Really? Why?
Because he tried to be too formal. He sounded like a judge from the 19th century. He wouldn't contract words like don't or can't. He said do not and cannot. He sounded so stiff.
Oh, that's a great point. Natural English uses contractions. In the speaking test, you want to sound like a friendly, educated person, not a robot or a textbook.
Exactly. He fixed it by just listening to podcasts and repeating how people actually talked. He relaxed and he passed the 3rd time.
That's a wonderful story. It really emphasizes that English is a living language. It's meant to connect people, not to test them on grammar rules from 100 years ago.
Exactly. Connection. That's the heart of it.
So let's recap a bit for our listeners, just to make sure it sticks. For writing, watch your time and answer the prompt. For reading, don't use outside knowledge. For listening, keep moving. For speaking, be natural.
And breathe. Don't forget to breathe.
Yes, breathing is highly recommended.
Well, we could talk about this for hours, but we are starting to run a bit low on time. Before we wrap up, is there one last secret tip you have? Something maybe a bit less obvious?
A secret tip. Well, I think it's about self-correction. In speaking and writing, if you make a mistake, don't just ignore it if you realize it immediately.
Oh, explain that.
If you say, I go to the park yesterday, and you instantly think, oops, past tense, just say, I went to the park yesterday.
Just fix it right there?
Yes, it shows the examiner that you have control over the language. You know the rule, you just slipped. That's better than ignoring it. If you ignore it, they might think you don't know it's wrong.
That is such a cool insight. It turns a mistake into a demonstration of skill. I love that.
It's like tripping on the street. If you fall and stay down, it's bad. If you trip, do a little roll, and keep running, it looks like a martial arts move.
An IELTS ninja, the tripping ninja. I like it.
Exactly. Be an IELTS ninja. Recover quickly.
Okay, everyone, you heard it here first. Be an IELTS ninja. Don't be a robot. Don't panic. Just use the skills you have.
And remember, it's just a test. It doesn't define your intelligence or your worth as a human being. It's just a stepping stone to where you want to go.
That is such a healthy perspective. We believe in you guys, really. You can do this.
Absolutely. It just takes practice and a little bit of strategy.
Which brings us to the most fun part of the show. We love hearing from you. We really do. It makes our day when we see our comments.
It does. So for this episode's interaction, we have a little challenge for you. It's called This or That.
Ooh, I love this or that. Okay, listeners, here is the question. It's a simple one, but tell us in the comments, which part of the IELTS exam do you find the most challenging?
Is it option A, the speaking test because you get nervous? Or option B, the writing test because you run out of time?
Or maybe option C, the reading test because the texts are so long. Let us know. Type A, B, or C in the comments below. And if you have a different enemy, tell us about it.
Yeah, tell us your horror stories or your success stories. Have you ever made a funny mistake in an exam? Share it with us so we can all have a laugh and learn together.
And don't forget, if you found this episode helpful, give us a thumbs up. It helps other students find us. And subscribe to Learning English Studio so you never miss an episode.
We are planning some really cool topics for next month, so you definitely want to stick around.
We really appreciate you spending your time with us today. I know you have busy lives, so thank you for choosing to learn with us.
It's our pleasure. Keep practicing, stay positive, and remember, English is not a wall, it's a bridge.
Wow, that's beautiful, James. English is not a wall, it's a bridge. I'm going to put that on a poster.
Feel free.
Okay, everyone, have a wonderful day. Good luck with your studies, and we will see you in the next episode. Bye for now.
Bye-bye. Take care.
Catch you later. See ya.